never had that struggle. He gave willingly and was always happy to do it. He was truly a cheerful giver. At the elementary school I teach at, a set of his drums, his congas, and an electric practice pad. He told me, take them, Clippy, for the kids. I got a set, and I can't play two at the same time. And speaking of school, one year I did what they call job sharing, where you split the week up with someone else. In essence, you take some time off for a year. Well, I got Artie the job, and he split up the week with me, and from that point on, whenever a student got in trouble, in class with me, they'd always say, "Where's Mr. Lidback? We want Mr. Lidback. I like Mr. Lidback." This went on for the next 5 years, until even though he was there only a year, this went on for the next 5 years until the kids he taught finally graduated from elementary school. His example of what a mensch really was carried over even to elementary school. Whenever I called him on the phone, no matter how much troubles or pain he was going through, he always sounded up when he picked up the phone. "Cliffy, how are you?" Always ready to tell you how much he appreciated even the littlest things you had done for him or someone else. When he asked me how I was doing, I'd tell him, and then he'd say, "No, Cliffy, how are you really doing?" Now, playing in the same band with Arthur for almost 4 decades, I think qualifies me to say a little bit about his drumming as well. He was a swinging cat that always drove us to play at another level. When I picked up the clarinet for a Dixie tune, he had a special way of playing Dixieland and two-beat tunes that created a renewed sense of joy not only in me, but in the audience as well. He played great solos and always had a sensitivity on ballads that only a mature artist could bring to the stage.
Amen. I'll second that.
We played many jazz gigs, but we also played many nursing homes together. And if the gig was at 1 p.m. in Swampscott, at 12:45, I'd be in the hallway, right outside the room we were playing, watching him sitting at his drums. I'd then call him from my cell phone and say, "Artie, I just passed a sign that said I'm 5 miles from the Sagamore Bridge. How far is this gig anyway?" He then would say to me, "Cliffy, I don't understand how you can make a mistake like that."
I can hear him.
I'd then tell him, "I don't know, but could you give me some directions how to get to the gig?" As he was giving me them so carefully, I'd keep walking closer to him, asking him other dumb questions until he finally looked up and I was standing right next to him. Well, we laughed so hard together, and the funny thing was, the next week I did the same thing again with him and pulled it off. Only this time I told him I had a flat tire. Could he come down and pick me up and repair?
That is cruel and unhuman and coming from you.
We loved it. He said so much fun. Another unusual quality he had that I can tell you firsthand most people I know don't have was he laughed at my jokes. One of his favorite sayings to me was, "Let him go, it's a nice day." This referred to Andy Phillips, the comedian who once played at Nick's Happy Hour in Tewksbury. He told Artie to sound like a horse galloping on the drums. And Artie did it, and the comedian's comment was, over the mic was, "Let him go, it's a nice day." So Artie played a little quicker. Doing bar mitzvahs with the Steve Siegel Band was also a regular thing for a while. On one of Steve's gigs, I'll never forget, we had a 4-hour drive to play this bar mitzvah. It was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We had driven for 4 hours, and we were so proud that we made it to the gig right on time. Artie knocked on the door of the temple door, where the bar mitzvah was, and the boy's father came to the door, and immediately Artie said with a happy tone, 2 o'clock, we're right on time. Then the father said, yeah, but the gig started at 12. It was you had to be there, but you should have seen his face. Another time before the bar mitzvah started, the appetizer bar looked so good. We ate a large portion of the food off it before the guests arrived. Needless to say,
There'd be no way.
the old listener knows Steve Siegel wasn't too happy with us that day, and I think we had to call the boys, the father, and we all had to apologize individually to the father the night after. It's true. It's just the way it was. And we talked to him. We felt so bad after, but we still ate the food. My phone conversations with him many times consisted of me telling him ridiculous things like, I just came back from outer space and I was a little tired. He then would elaborate on that, and I would elaborate on it, and he would keep going, and after 30 minutes on the phone, not one of us had said one bit of conversation that made any sense. And then we'd say, talk to you later. The worst I ever, relate to this, the worst I ever saw Artie was not in the nursing home or in the hospital, but while playing on stage after 2 years on the road with Dick Doherty. Man, that cat looked down and out. I was there. He looks awful. I mean, he was so depressed up there. I just felt so bad. But let me say something very clear. I mean this sincerely. The strongest of men on this planet, with the same condition as Artie's, would have quit and given up a long time and not been able to stand what Artie took day in and day out. Though he wasn't a weightlifter and he didn't have six-pack abs, Artie was what strength in a man was all about. And just in closing, I'd just like to say, Artie,
he makes all the churches.
thank you for all the years of joy you gave me in my life. I'm sorry I let life get in the way of me coming over to see you more often than I did. But always know I love you, and that you, more so than anyone else I know on this planet, are a real match.